Kyle is gracing us with her presence training. That's luxury presence. Um, Honestly, luxury presence has a lot of features that we haven't been properly utilizing. First of all, I don't know how many of you know this, but luxury presence is the same website and platform that Ryan Serhant's agents use. You don't need to have an individual subdomain to take advantage of this feature. Matter of fact, what Kyle's about to show you, you're probably going to feel a little like on the overwhelmed side about it, because it is pretty involved. And I hope you do feel overwhelmed, because if you do, then just have your TC do it, because this is something that your TC will do for you for any listing. So go ahead and take it away, Kyle.
Thank you for the shameless plug on TC service.
Yes, ma'am.
Always a good time. Okay, here we are. Okay. If you want to follow along, now would be a great time to log into Luxury Presence. Looks like this. Okay. So when you log in, you should see your name in the lower left corner, and then you should see this whole menu over on the left-hand side. What we're going to talk about today is creating a single property website. This will give you a specific page just for your listing that you want to showcase. You can share it on your social media. You can send it directly to clients using this link. So what we'll do once we're logged in is we'll go to content, and then we'll go to properties. I have admin access, so you're going to see everybody's listings, but here you go. These are all the single property websites. If you have an IDX feed already set up, you'll see this icon that says on with the link. That is your IDX feed that it's pulling from. If you don't, and you see this off, that's okay. That's what we're going to talk about today, is how to create your own single property website so that you can share it and you don't need to rely on the IDX feed. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to set up your own listing. So when you're in here in the content properties, you'll go up here to add new. There's a whole bunch of stuff. This kind of looks like MLS input, right? You're going to give your property a name. This is not the address. This is what you want your, like a flyer headline to be, like 10 acres in Dallas, or whatever your tagline is, your headline is for this property. That's going to go here. You can put the property address if you'd like, but this is marketing. This is the address. Images can be loaded here. Property status, the default is for sale. If you don't have it listed in the MLS, but you're allowed to do coming soon or pocket listings, you're going to want to change that down here. Okay, this is a really cool feature. If for whatever reason the address needs to be private or can only be handed out to certain people, you can set a password for your single property website so that if someone inquires, they have to get that from you in order to view the site, and then you know who they are and your seller's given permission for you to share certain information with that person. Okay. Featured listing or for lease, these are tags that are going to go on your agent profile in Luxury Presence. So if you're Debbie, it's, debbie.mclean.myrealestateco.com, or if they're searching on our website and they click the state that you're in, if you put featured listings, that's coming up on your states page. So I always recommend clicking at least that one. Are we tracking so far?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ooh.
You can add open houses here. I'm going to put in the price and all of this here. If it's a lease, the lease term, the length of the lease, rental rates if you'd like. You can even check price upon request. That's another one of those privacy things where you don't have to enter it. You can just click this. Okay, all the property details are going to be here. This is really flexible. This is like residential, commercial, all kinds of stuff. See over here, space type, office, retail, warehouse. So this seems pretty flexible. for you to add those key details, including your land ID URL. So it is trying to be very versatile on these. You can also upload a virtual tour or other type of property video. And continuing on down, you can type in your public remarks or any other marketing, verbiage you want to put right here. Schools, other amenities, and then we're going room by room. These are, you can type whatever you want. In the kitchen, you don't have to put the dimensions. You could put like refrigerator, disposal, dishwasher, plumbed for ice maker. I mean, you put whatever you want in here and it's just going to create a tag. Like you type it and you hit enter, that's a tag now. So I recommend rounding this out as much as you can. Those are going to become keywords when this is published. Okay, over here, bed bath count, number of stories, if there's water, year built, all that good stuff, okay? Exterior of the home information, financial information, files, if you wanted to put your property disclosures or anything else, maybe a features sheet if they just remodeled. Anything that you wanted to attach would go down here. Quotes, I don't know. If you want to be real artsy fartsy, I guess you can add some quotes.
Hey, let me let me just break in there. The beautiful thing about this being our website is it's our rules. The one thing I love about the quotes is a client will tell you what they love about their home. So sometimes I will quote like, "We love this ranch because of XYZ," and because it's a quote from the homeowner. Um, it actually is legal for us to say, and this is something that MLS is not going to allow you to do. So that's why a lot of agents prefer to share this piece of marketing as a link, because you have more liberties to put items that you are not allowed to put in MLS. Also, too, it's actually, instead of like looking really regimented and like everybody else, you can make it to the theme of the home, or the message to the buyer that you want to try to attract. So if you need to be very regimented, for farm and ranch and say commercial, you can be very black and white. And then on the other side, if it's, a residential home where you need to put in a little more warmth, you can do that as well. So I know some of this stuff sounds a little interesting, but the thing is that we can personalize this, as well as we can make this our own without any rules or regulations that may, that a buyer may miss looking out on Zillow, or a agent may miss looking at MLS. You can really make this stand out, as a shareable tool.
Yeah, I do kind of see it as like an extension of your social media. Some things that you say on social media, you can't say in the MLS. Your website has those same kind of benefits. So thanks for bringing that up, Lindsay. Down here in the bottom in the SEO section is kind of important, because this is what will show up when people are searching on Google, properties near me or whatever. So the title is going to be whatever you chose at the top. Those keywords at the very top before the address is going to be primary keyword, secondary keyword, and then your brand name. That is what the URL is going to look like, unless you choose a custom URL. So when we get to how you would connect this to make it a single property website, you'll see this in action. But be careful what you pick. If you choose a lot of wordy things, it's going to have a dash in between each one. If you don't choose this custom URL. And then over here is a 300 character or less description. That's when somebody Googles, they're going to see the headline, right? And then right under that, they're going to see a short description that's maybe like 3 or 4 lines. That's this over here. So use this space to summarize your property with as many keywords as would get the most eyeballs when somebody's Googling. We all tracking? What questions do we have so far? None? We're all good?
Yep, nothing in Twitch, nothing on Zoom, so you should be good there.
Okay, cool. All right. Now let's say we had done all of that and we hit save. Let me reshare my screen. Okay. Now we're going to go to websites. Okay. Let's just say you're in websites, you go to create website up here. You're going to choose your website type. So we'll choose this one. Apparently that's all it gives me. Normally it would give you a few. Now it's going to go to your properties. So if you were in there and you had created a property just now, the list of what you could make a single web property website for would show up here. Lindsay, is there a certain one that you wanted me to showcase? This one?
You know, I like that one, and then I like the other one on 290.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to choose. Let's choose this guy. Okay. So now you're in here. This is that headline that you chose that goes before the address. Okay. If for some reason this was like super long and you hated it and you wanted to change it, you should be able to edit. Okay. What are we doing here? It might be because I'm sharing screen, but over here on the left, you can click and there's a toolbar that would allow you to kind of go through and change it. There's no coding. It's just like a pop-up box where you would click and type and change it and save. So it's probably because I'm sharing screen, but here we go. Okay. The price is there. The address is there. Now you're going to see everything that you typed as you went along. It's showing you the acreage. It's showing you all of your public remarks or your verbiage that you put in there for marketing. So all that input you did on the last page is carrying over here, okay? If you have social media or other contact me links that you set up in your profile, they'll be here. The status is here. So again, if you had changed this to coming soon or pocket listing, that would show. And then these blocks, if you don't like this and you don't want people requesting a tour through your website, you can delete these if you don't want to see them. Here's all your media. So that one at the top is just a cover. And then all the rest of your media is down here. So if there's no virtual tour, this is a block I would probably delete. That way this part doesn't even show up. Again, that should be a tool over here. You would just click it and then click trash can and it would go away. Both of these would expand once published. Same thing with this. If you don't have one, feel free to delete. There's a mortgage calculator. Same thing. If you don't like it, get rid of it. I think it's a great tool, but not everybody likes that. They would rather like refer to their preferred lender or just not be liable for whatever this might tell you that's inaccurate.
Yeah, well, you know, too, it's a residential mortgage calculator, guys. So if you're doing a listing for like commercial, obviously you would pull out the parts that were residential. It does feed all of it, and then you get to customize it, or your TC gets to customize it for you.
Okay, Explore Texas, when this is published, it would actually put a link into our company feed. So anything in Texas that was listed by us would be linked on whatever you click on, it would go to that page. So you'd see Lindsay's and Mickey's and Debbie's and Rossi's and whoever else has listings down there. Here's a map where the property is located. Lindsay, is this verbiage that you put in here, or is this?
No, that is a default section from our main website, and we will be adjusting that. So if you want to remove it, you can to customize it. But like I said, it loads every option the first time, and then the TC or the agent, if they're not using a TC, can go in and customize those features. But yes, that actually comes from our main website.
Nice. Okay. There's our cover photo for Texas in case y'all haven't visited the main website. When you see all the states we're in, this is the one for Texas. And then a Let's Connect. So if someone's browsing your website, they want to get more information directly from you, here's the contact or lead capture section. And then your contact information, very important. Okay, so that's what the single property website would look like. When you are ready to publish that information, you'll come over here. Your free subdomain is going to be those keywords that we talked about. So this one is TBD East Highway 290. So TBD dash East dash, okay, dot myrealestateco.com. If you want to set up a custom domain, it's free. Click on this and click continue. Now you're choosing whatever you want. Maybe this is, however many acres in wherever, or some personal brand that you have with a little tag for what the property is. Lindsay has one that has wildlife animals on it. So she has wildlife something or other .myrealestateco.com. So you can choose whatever you like. When you're ready to publish, you click publish. That's going to give you a link that you may share far and wide. So what questions do we have? Nothing?
I have a very important question.
Okay, and it looks like Rossi has a question.
Go, Rossi, you first.
Are you sure? Okay, so real quick, are these SEO so that they can be found and that doesn't get lost amongst, the ocean of other websites and stuff? Because if we share this, I don't know, can people find this?
Yeah, the SEO is your search engine optimization. So that 300 characters that you have is just like, how many keywords can you cram in there where someone's typing in, 3 or 4 words in Google? We want your listing to pop up. So taking the time to fill that out is really important.
Okay.
What do you have, Lindsay?
Hey, Kyle, is this something my TC can do for me and make sure that the SEO and the labeling is correct?
100%.
Hey guys, I think this is an awesome feature. I'm not just talking to Texas agents, but here's the deal. It's great to know how to do these things so you can explain them to your clients. But if you're a top producing agent, you need to be doing revenue generating activities. So I use my TC Kyle. Kyle goes in, she dives into it, fills it out, uploads all the details and the criteria that I personally like to see on my property websites. There's sections I don't want to see. Like I don't want to see the quote. I don't want to see the mortgage calculator. I want it to be a very streamlined site. She knows my guidelines. She makes it happen. She takes the hours to make it look good. She does the search engine optimization keywords for me, and she sends it to me for review. So I just want to remind everybody, this is an amazing tool and we have great tools, but if this is something that can fall under your support team's time versus your revenue generating time, definitely do that. The sales portion of this, how I use this is I win listings by telling the clients that I have a specific website for their property that we design in-house. It has their own URL that matches their address and that we hand that URL. And then also too, we can track the people that are clicking that link. So I personally send this to the client. I don't send them the Zillow link. I don't send them the MLS link. I send them this. Also, when a client calls me or a buyer calls me, I send them this link. So we're capturing their clicks. We're getting more clicks in our system and more traffic coming in. But also, too, you can share with the client. There's a property analytics button on the back that I say, hey, TC, when you get a minute once a month, can you pull the analytics on the traffic for me so I can share with the client all the views that we're getting? I use this wholeheartedly. That's also why I upload all my documents. I know you can upload documents in MLS, and I'm not saying not to do that. However, this is the vehicle that I use every single time consistently, and it is giving me and the company back more control. We're controlling the data, very similar to what the MLSs and Zillows are doing. So it's the same process they're using. And also too, it's branded by you and it's branded beautifully. And I prefer the clients share this. Hey, your neighbors are going to ask you about your website, ask you about the property, share the website. That becomes a lead generator for you to get in front of the neighbors or whoever they share with. So diving into deeper with lead generation by using this amazing tool. There's a very small percentage of brokerages that have this feature. I've only known one brokerage in the past 11 years that I've worked with that had this particular feature. So this also makes you stand out as a listing agent as well. So just wanted to share those tips and how I use that to be a top producing agent, and lean on your TC to create an amazing process to hammer these out as you have listings coming along.
Okay, I have one more thing I wanted to share because I felt dumb that I couldn't edit earlier, but it's because our faces were covering it. It's right here next to the publish button. If you go to this edit, now you're in edit mode. Now you see all the things that you can edit by going over here to the left, clicking on the block. Here's the different menus. So just wanted to point that out. I couldn't see it earlier, but it's right here next to the publish.
Who's excited to start building some single property websites?
So
Yay.
real quick, Kyle.
I'm excited for my TC to do it. I don't
Now you
know.
gotta get some
Shit.
listings.
Kyle, with this, this is in addition to our MLS input, right? I know I was making coffee when you started this, so you might have already covered it.
So if you have an IDX feed, which I think you do,
Mhm.
then your listings are automatically being published as single property websites. If you don't have an IDX feed, or you want the ability to customize what you say in the remarks, then it might be good to turn off the IDX feed one and build your own if you'd like to change the verbiage around or add other things that might not be allowed in the MLS. So
Okay.
personal preference there.
So for instance, you could offer, you could say what the seller is offering to buyer's agents and stuff like that on your personal, on the single property website.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because it's, yeah, as long as it's not linked.
Anyone
Thank
have
you
any-
so much, Kyle. That was killer.
Yep.
All
I'll
right,
be
Holly,
around.
close us out.
All right. Sounds good. When in doubt, reach out, message us if you need us. We are here for you. We all started this morning with a blank slate at 0. So go out and find a buyer, seller, or agent to talk to. Have a good one. Bye.
Wait, aren't we supposed to do this, Holly?
I'm not AI, guys.
I don't believe you.